I listen to Quran, get the reward benefit in Ramadan. Listen to Quran, recite.
Exactly.
I mean, we are doing everything for the sake of Allah. Keep in mind, that's the whole
Yes.
point.
Right.
Everything we are doing for the sake of Allah and for this world and hereafter. So that's what
Exactly.
we should aim for. Inshallah, may Allah accept our good deeds.
You're a plate of biryani. The next day, you're gonna feel it. You're not gonna
Yes.
run as fast.
Oh, trust me. I was there.
Pulao and roast, kayata, beef. That slows you down. You know.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম সবাইকে আবারও স্বাগতম আমার রানিং স্টোরিজ পডকাস্টে মাই নেম ইজ তাইফ রহমান আই এম দ্য রানিং কোচ অ্যান্ড ফিটনেস ট্রেনার আজকে আপনাদের সাথে নিয়ে এসেছি আমি একজন রানার যার সাথে আমার পরিচয় হয়েছিল 2019-এ বার্লিন ম্যারাথনে I was fortunate enough to meet one of my Bangladeshi fellow runner over there and now he's with me and we'll talk about running and his journey, how he started running. Welcome, brother Arif. How are you? It's been a while. Nice to see you. Assalamu
Nice to
alaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Nice to see you. I know it's been a while. Last time was 2019. We happened to actually before we met in Berlin marathon. We actually talked about we can run Berlin. Who knows? We might end up.
I remember exactly. We kind of somehow ended up in Berlin, and I remember that day where we met your family, and I had my coworker. We did that pre-run before Berlin Marathon.
Yeah,
we had a great time. Alhamdulillah.
We were by the Bourbon Gate. I forgot the
Brandenburg Gate. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I think that's him. That's brother Taif. I think that's him. That's when I'm like, oh my God, what are the chances that I'm gonna end up meeting you, right?
Sure. So, brother, let's start. Let's start for our audience. Can you introduce yourself, brother? What are you doing? Where are you from? Just to start.
So, my name is Arif Kazi. I'm from Atlanta. I used to be in New York. I grew up actually in New York, in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
But then last 18 years, I've been in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a founder of Atlanta Muslim Running Club.
MashaAllah.
It's been 9 years actually. I started. Try to motivate our Muslim community members into fitness, running. So that's been going on for 9 years, and I run marathon myself, and I also try to coach some people who are interested in long distance running like marathon.
So let me ask you, when did you move Atlanta again? I probably missed it.
Summer of 2006.
So 2006, you moved to Atlanta. Is that when you started running? When did you start running?
I started running around 2008.
Okay, so after you moved to Atlanta.
After I moved to Atlanta, and then actually I started taking, every year I do my medical exams, and my cholesterol was actually higher than normal, mid 200s, and I'm like, I'm still young at that time. I was 2007-ish, so I was like 27, and I'm like, okay, I need to do something about this. So at the same time, I think I was watching the New York City Marathon on TV.
Okay.
And I decided, hey, I need to write like a bucket list. And the first thing I wrote was marathon.
Wow.
And I never ran before.
So look at that. So first thing, marathon. Like you
first
never
thing
ran
marathon,
before.
and second thing was Hajj, and so forth.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
So first thing I wrote marathon, and I'm like, okay. After a week or two, I knew one of my good friend, he was running already. So I just say, hey, can I tag along, start running? And I couldn't even do 1 mile. And slowly, after 1 mile, 2 mile, after a couple of weeks and a month training with him, next thing I know, I really enjoy this sport of running. And all the endorphins are released, after running for 45 minutes or so.
So if I understand correctly, so you were saying you're watching that New York City Marathon. That's what inspired you. So
that's what inspired
that event, that what inspired you to marathon, and that's where you started about running, finding out and more, and started your journey. At the same time,
first my motivation was to do something about my health.
Right. That's
While I was thinking about that, I was watching the marathon.
Got it.
And that's what, and I said, okay, I want to do a marathon. It was a bucket list, right?
Right. So
And
when
that's
did you
what
do
got me
your
started.
first marathon? So you said 2007, 8. Is that the time you started?
2008, 2008, I started running. So end of 2007, like December time,
Mm-hmm.
and I end up 2012 in Publix Marathon in Georgia. That was my first
First
marathon,
marathon
right?
in Georgia is the first
In
marathon.
Georgia, right?
Okay.
And at that time during those years there was not much training plans out there,
Right.
YouTubers talking about running.
Right.
So I was just running every week trying to increase mileage and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 2012 was my first marathon. Yep.
Okay. So 2012 was your first marathon, and you said you don't have any coach or any guidance. So you just did your own research and come up with your own plan. So
Yeah.
tell me about that journey. Do you want to give a idea like where did you start? How was your mileage? Was like all these? Give me an overview of that whole training plan for your first marathon.
Yeah, so obviously I didn't start running at 2000. I started running 2008, but the
Right.
plan came later on, right?
Okay.
My goal was to first run a 5K, right? And then a 10K. We have a Peachtree Road Race. It's called the Peachtree Road Race. It's the world largest 10K that happens every year in Atlanta. So I did that. Then I signed up for half a marathon. And right before, I guess, 2012, March is when they had the Publix Marathon.
Okay.
So I would say around 6 or 4 months earlier,
Right.
I said, okay, I need to put some mileage, and that's why slowly every weekend I would increment. So I started like maybe 10 miles the first week, and then incremented by another mile and so forth until I felt comfortable that I could do a marathon. So in my plan, as long as I could do 20 miles by myself,
Right.
I'll be fine to run a marathon, and that's what I did. But
So
but being the first marathon, it was very difficult, right? Not using a running plan,
right.
it was very difficult. My time was like 5 hours and more than 5 hours.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure I
Yeah,
do get that a lot. Usually, with a lot of runners, I have been hearing that. I mean, they do end up with that time without any plans, and that's the whole point. Like, I believe when you have a right guidance, your journey could be much in a better place. I mean, you can have
easier.
that safe zone or have that real guidance, and it takes a lot to run a marathon. See, that's what I say. Sometimes I know people do this one day wake up,
Yeah.
but you definitely need that time. So going back to your running, brothers. So you did your marathon, first marathon, 2012. And
Mhm.
so how was your experience? Like, I'm sure that bug, like I know after you finish a marathon, you get that bug. Oh, that's it. I'm going to continue, right? Uh,
I I had the opposite feeling.
uh,
So
that's what I was gonna say. That's most of us would have that, and I met a people also that has opposite feelings. So please do
yeah.
share your feeling. Yes,
Yeah, so I finished marathon. It was obviously it's a big accomplishment, right?
right.
Less than 1% in the whole world run a marathon.
Hmm.
So it was a big accomplishment for me, especially I'm not like an athletic person,
Okay.
right? I never ran a race in high school or college at all, right? So it was very, I mean, the minute you cross, it's like, oh my God, I accomplished something, right? I was so happy and so forth. But right after that, because it was a 5.5 hours of torture, I said, that's it. No more marathons. I'm not gonna run marathon at all. I'll just run a half. I was comfortable with half marathons. So I said, okay, I'll run a half marathon. But I think after 2, 3 years, one of my friends said, hey, you need to use, some kind of running program. Follow some running program, you'll do fine. And that's when I started using running plans, and I think my second marathon was probably 2015 or so. Um, and obviously I did better time and I felt more comfortable. But the goal is, I mean, you want to use a training plan. You don't want to just wake up one day, oh, I'm gonna run a marathon. It doesn't work like that. It Marathon takes about I would say, uh, anywhere between 12 to 18 weeks of practicing, right?
Yeah,
running,
depending
and
on your situation, not
depending
everybody's
on your
fit.
situation.
Depending on how, that's why I always tell my client or whoever you coach, I'm sure you know that we ask
Yeah,
those questions where their point in life. So
yeah,
based on that feedback, I would make their plan.
exactly.
So going back to what you started with saying that you had a cholesterol level is high. So now that you started running and playing, how did that work out? Just want to touch base on that. Did it go went down? Like, did you see that overall
Yeah,
improvement with your
yeah.
health
So
with running?
just running by itself is, you'll see some improvement because you're losing weight and so forth. But it's I would say your diet is more the
Right,
most
your
important.
nutrition comes into
Nutrition.
big.
So
Yes,
as you're running and you're racing, let's say 5K, right? Maybe first 5K you did like 35 minutes, right? But the second 5K you want to do better, or you want a PR or
right,
personal record,
uh,
right? So uh, how you do that? Obviously, you try to run faster and so forth, but you also see whenever your diet is better, you do better as running. So slowly, because of your goals, you make goals, and because you want to get a better timing and so forth, you end up eating healthier too. Because
exactly.
let's say you had a plate of biryani, right? You had a plate of biryani. The next day, you're gonna feel it. You're not gonna
Yes.
run as fast.
Oh, trust
You,
me, I was there.
pulao and roast, kayata, beef. That slows you down. You know.
না আমরা এটা করি তো আমরা বাংলাদেশি হচ্ছে মাছে ভাতে বাঙালি সো
Yeah,
আমরা ভাতটা ছাড়তে পারি না ভাই আর
I
বিরিয়ানি
know.
দেখলে
I
তো
know.
আমরা আমরা বলি আজকে খেয়ে ফেলি কালকে 5 মাইল একটু বেশি দিয়ে দিব I was there I've done
It,
it but at
yeah,
the end you suffer it you go
you
through it
suffer. Yeah,
but
long
যদি
time it's pretty bad.
it's pretty bad and you want to see that difference with your time that's where it's very important you have
Yeah,
to be disciplined
yeah,
so
and
that's
and
what
your numbers like cholesterol level, sugar
right
level, everything. You
no
know.
that's the whole point it's
Yeah,
overall health আমরা তো just
health.
একটা কথা বলছি running is only
Right,
one medium but
right.
our goal picture is to be healthy or live a healthy lifestyle and when you live a
Exactly.
healthy lifestyle it's not just one thing it's multiple things are included here one is exercise second is your nutrition third is other factor your sleep so as a runner these are the things you have to incorporate with your lifestyle and that's what discipline comes in and I'm sure marathon kind of taught me that like when you did that marathon I did my marathon first marathon you have to be the discipline if you see you have to go in time you have to do this
Yep.
on run long run on certain days you have to find time for yourself like right that's what didn't it like tell me about that like how's life changed after marathon or is
Oh,
it the
uh,
same
yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a discipline part, right?
right
So you're waking up earlier. You know, you eating because you cannot just run. Just wake up and run. Especially if you want to eat, right? If you want to have, so there's rule that you have to eat like 2.5 hours before. So you're getting up really early, especially summer days when it's hot. You want to start
and
early.
Atlanta weather we know how hot
Atlanta
it
weather,
gets
yes.
yeah
Yeah, it gets really hot. So you wake up earlier, 2 hours earlier, eat, especially for your long runs, right?
right
And then, so doing this for 4 months in a row,
yeah
you do get some kind of discipline, right? So you waking up earlier, eating better, and so forth, and managing time between work and family time, and you running, right? Long distance running means you're running anywhere between 1 hour to 2 hours.
right
So you have to manage time, manage work, come back, take shower and so forth, so you could get ready to work and go work, and then you also have to rest, go to
right
sleep early.
there you
So
go
yeah,
exactly everything it's like a whole package you
it's a whole
cannot
package.
exactly one thing
So
goes off you
yeah,
suffer on the other hand
yeah. So if it also helps you with the prayers, I'm a Muslim, I'm at the Pass Waqt namaz, right? So you wake up for Fajr time, you do all that stuff, and then after Isha, you're like, okay, go to sleep, you know?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. As আমরা যারা ইসলাম ধর্ম বিশ্বাসী তারা তো আমাদের
Right,
ডিসিপ্লিন আছে, নামাজ আছে,
right,
রোজা আছে। So
right.
good point that you brought that up. So আমি এটাতেই আসছিলাম আজকে আমাদের মেইন টপিক যেটা running in Ramadan. So
Right.
Ramadan is one of the pillar in our Muslim those who are in that religion faith Islamic faith we know that when Ramadan comes we have to have the whole different routine discipline so I know you do run in Ramadan brother so please
Yes.
do share your experiences how do you prepare for yourself when it comes to Ramadan and running
Yeah. So Ramadan, you have to, before Ramadan starts, you have to prepare yourself, right? You don't want to be first day of Ramadan and running, because you might dehydrate and break your fast, right? That's the worst you could do. It's better not to run than, So what I do is, on Mondays and Thursdays, I try to fast a couple months before Ramadan starts.
Nice.
You follow the Sunnah Mondays and Thursdays.
Thursdays, correct.
So I try to fast, and so you wake up early during suhoor time. Right,
Hmm.
right. I mean, at that time it's not Ramadan, but right before
No, you
Fajr
do have to eat
starts.
early dawn. Yeah,
Yeah,
dawn meal. Exactly.
right.
You pretty
You,
much do the
yeah,
same thing.
you eat early,
Yep.
and try to eat healthy, right?
Yes.
Like
Do you want to
fiber-ish.
share what do you eat though? Is it for like just to know what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
eat?
I mean, usually it's simple. I mean, you know, I don't have a Bangladeshi style suhoor, right? So I eat like American style, because
No, no,
I don't want to
do
feel
share.
heavy.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so
Like
I usually
oatmeal.
have
What is it?
no, so I usually have like whole wheat bread
Whole wheat
with
bread.
like avocado,
Okay.
and I'll probably have chia seeds on top of it,
Nice.
right? Anything that keeps you full.
Full.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that way it lasts longer, right? I
Yeah.
also have like I drink a lot of coconut water
Very good
for
electrolytes.
hydration,
Very good.
electrolytes,
Exactly. Yes.
or
Yes.
I put like Noon, Noon
Yes,
tablets.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Noon
instead of
tablet is good.
Gatorade, I use Noon because
Yeah.
has no sugar,
Exactly.
and put it in my water and
Hmm.
then drink that. So
Right.
usually and then my wife makes this uh, overnight oats.
Hmm.
So overnight oats with like chia seeds and some fruits, and maybe I'll put some almonds or uh, um, and some other nuts, and I
Mashallah.
eat that. So I try to eat
All,
clean.
all, all the good stuff with love. Is Bobby's making it all the good stuff with love. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
but I
That's
try to eat
fantastic.
clean.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to do like, uh, amkola and and bat, or kola and doodh and stuff, that doesn't go well with my stomach,
No,
you know.
দ্যাটস দ্য হোল পয়েন্ট। আমরা যখন রোজা রাখি সাধারণত আমরা যখন এটাই আমরা সেহরিতে খাই, সুহুরে খাই বা ইফতারে
Yeah,
খাই, খাওয়ার পরে টায়ার্ড আসে কই থেকে? এই
yeah,
খাওয়াটা যখন আমি রাইট করব তখন এই টায়ার্ডনেস আসবে না। ইউ ক্যান
yeah,
ডু এভরিথিং অন টাইম and you
yeah,
will feel more energetic.
yeah. If
Last
you're eating,
Ramadan, Alhamdulillah, I had the best Ramadan in my life. I'm
yeah,
looking forward to this Ramadan, inshallah.
yeah,
Those who are watching, I wish them Ramadan Kareem. It's coming soon, hopefully. And may Allah,
yeah,
if you have any question regarding how do you prepare yourself, please contact me and brother Arif Kazi. We'll be glad to help you with any questions on your nutrition side. I'm not a nutrition certified, but I can guide you, at least give you an idea what you can work on your end. And running wise too, we are there for you if you need any
yeah,
question or anything like that. But that's a good point, brother. It's very important what you eat. That makes a big difference.
yeah.
But
If you're
going back to,
eating,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, if you're eating like oily food,
No,
peazu and and all
no,
that
no.
stuff,
That's our
that's gonna you
traditional
feel it.
food. You feel
Yeah,
the burn.
you feel the feel the burn, and also you feel gassy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So it's better you eat clean and
সারাদিন রোজা
healthy.
রেখে খালি পেটে এটা খাওয়াটা যে এত ক্ষতিকর আমরা যারা জানি না বুঝি না এটা আসলে আর যারা বিশেষ করে আমরা যারা দৌড়াই এটাই আচ্ছা
Yeah,
সো আমরা গোয়িং ব্যাক টু রানিং অ্যাকচুয়ালি
yeah,
লেটস আস্ক ইউ দিস সো হোয়াট টাইম ডু ইউ ইউজুয়ালি রান ডিউরিং রামাদান and how many miles or do you have any time or do you go by time or by miles?
yeah. So I go by miles. So I try to do. So if I'm doing some kind of challenge, right? I did couple challenge. One time my challenge was to run a half marathon.
Wow.
Yeah, well, first one I did was the 10K Peachy Road Race
Hmm.
in 2015.
I remember I've seen I think I've seen this somewhere in Strava and I was
Yeah,
like this guy is seriously running in Ramadan 10K
yeah.
without that was during daytime.
There's
Right.
during the daytime,
How
right? So
did you do it, brother, without drinking water?
yeah, well, that's why you prepare yourself,
I mean,
right?
I
You
can do it.
train.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you could
totally,
train.
I can get it because I remember just to cut
Yeah,
you off there. When I first started running during Ramadan, I was like, seriously, how people do it? Let me go. So when I did that, right before Iftar, I actually go for my running. So when I did that, I was like, wow, I'm feeling good. 3 miles, 4 miles. I think there was the day I did 5 miles. I
yeah,
was so happy. Like 5 miles and I'm not thirsty. I feel something different,
yeah,
It
yeah.
was the best feeling,
But
Alhamdulillah.
but you
So
did right before breaking fast,
breaking
right?
fast.
Yeah. So
Right.
so so
That's my time.
since
Yeah.
so 2014 Peachy
Right.
Road Race was during Ramadan as well.
Yeah.
At that time I didn't run that race. I was actually feeling bad. right? Because that's like a Peachy Road Race is like you celebrating Independence Day. It's July 4th actually.
Okay.
Independence Day. At the same time, you running with like it's a big race, so 50 to 60,000 people,
Hmm.
and they're all like cheering you on, all that stuff. So I was running 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013,
So every year,
every year
pretty much,
except
yeah.
2014 came. It was
Ah,
Ramadan. I didn't
uh-huh.
run. So when 2015 was coming, I'm like, you know what? This year I'm gonna run the race, Peachtree
Okay.
Road Race.
Hmm.
So that's why 2 months ahead I started preparing myself, waking up early, eating early, before Fajr, and then fasting and running in the morning. That's why I was prepared. I was able
Ah,
to do it. But if you never did it before, I wouldn't recommend running in the morning. It's better to run in the evening right before you break your fast because you'll be thirsty, especially in summer times and spring times. You'll be very thirsty, so you
yeah.
could break right after. So running during the day, it's harder, but you just have to train, and it's
Yeah.
summertime. It's easier during the morning, right? Because it's cooler, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what one thing definitely. We are not saying here to everybody like especially who is starting to run, not to
Yeah,
go out there and run like that. You can hurt yourself. We
yeah,
are
you
not
can hurt
saying to go
yourself.
run in the morning, whatever works out. The main goal is to stay in that zone. So I mean, maintain that running. Usually you don't need much, 30, 40 minutes, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's fine if you want to do a race or whatnot. But just to do 30, 40 minutes right before Ramadan is a good timing. So right after you come back, you do your wudu and get ready and pray
yeah,
and start your breaking your fast.
yeah,
So that kind of works for me. But
yeah.
that
And,
I
and the,
mean,
and the other reason you should, I mean, if you're a runner,
yeah,
you want to run during Ramadan because, or else that's 1 month of not running, and then you know
at
how it gets. It
is
slows you
it's
down, and it's like starting all over, right? With any sports, you have to be always what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
you have to be active and disciplined. That I
yeah,
mean, that's what it is.
discipline.
You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
maintain it. Like whatever you
Consistent. The
practice,
word I was looking for.
consistency. Exactly. Now,
Consistency. So if you're
because
running every other day and all of a sudden you just stop in
right
30 days, then it's like starting all over
over
again,
again.
moving those wheels, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I would always recommend still running Ramadan, like maybe an hour before breaking fast, just go out, run a little bit, and then take shower. Then Maghrib time, you could break a fast. At
Yeah.
least you get
And
some exercise done. And
exercise done, and I listen to Quran, get the reward benefit in Ramadan, listen to Quran, recite.
exactly,
I mean, we are doing everything for the sake of Allah. Keep in mind, that's the whole
yes,
point.
right,
Everything we are doing for the sake of Allah and for this world and hereafter. So that's what
exactly.
we should aim for. Inshallah, may Allah accept our good deeds. Brother, so I mean, that we talked about running in Ramadan. Is there anything you would like to add? Anything else before we move to the next? I
Yeah,
was going to ask you how you supposed to, I mean, how does it help you actually running, like mentally, spiritually? That's
yeah. I mean, one thing is, um, when we're running like we're supposed to in Ramadan, we're supposed to uh, see, what the poor people go through and so forth, right? So you being hungry and then running and thirsty, you get that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm able to do this, and how are other people who are not able to do this? You know, we feel we feel like even a drop of water, right? How much it's benefit us, right? So so same thing. And the other thing is like, we're lucky we have legs and so forth that we could run, right? There's so many people don't have the legs or things like that. You feel also like
how
the
much we are
gratitude,
blessed with. That's exactly
blessed,
how much
right?
we
Uh,
have to be grateful for what we have.
yeah. So you're blessed, you gratitude for able to do this, and
Exactly.
realize that Allah gave you legs and arms and so forth, even in hunger, and even you're able to do all this, right?
There you go. Perfectly well said, brother. That's exactly what my motivation is in
Yeah,
every run or during any times. I tell myself like how fortunate we are living in this developed nation
exactly.
country, and we have all these benefits or all these facilities we have, right? Road
Yes.
wise, food wise, car, house, anything you want.
Yeah.
Like even now in back home in Bangladesh, you see like, and I mean the running is kind of growing in Bangladesh, and I see people how they're doing during hot days and all these roads and uneven roads and very danger though. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but that kind of motivates me, like how blessed we are with living in this side
Yeah.
of the world.
Like
So
this
much convenient. Yeah.
yeah, last time I went to Bangladesh, I think it was 2018.
Right.
There's a group called BD Runners.
Yes, I
So,
remember. I
mashallah,
think.
I joined them one time, and there's actually some triathletes,
Okay.
Bangladeshi triathletes, and I'm
Hmm.
like, where do they swim? Where do they run? Where do they bike? I mean, Dhaka is so busy. Where do they get the space to do it? But
That's
they're
it.
doing it,
They're
and
doing
mashallah,
it.
they have a big group. If you go to their, I think they have their group runs on Saturdays, and you could see, mashallah, it's like a big crowd, and people from all ages come and just walk, run with them.
Inshallah,
Yeah.
yeah, but inshallah, you are right. I mean, that's what motivation comes from. But mashallah, Bangladesh is doing really good with the running. And I don't know if I told you, but I'm planning at arranging a 5K. Hopefully, all goes well for my father's charity. That's on my plan too. Okay, let's
In
go back to,
Bangladesh? You're doing it in Bangladesh?
yeah, in Bangladesh, in my Sylhet, my hometown.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, okay.
hopefully, by that everything goes well. That's the plan.
Inshallah, yeah.
I'll share the information with you. What lessons have you learned from running in Ramadan that you can apply in running and life in general? Anything that you would like to share that you take away from Ramadan and
Uh,
running?
just just being blessed that I'm able to do it, right?
Alhamdulillah.
And like I said before, it's about gratitude, what Allah gave us, and how your body is able to change and get used to, like running 30 days in Ramadan without food and lack of water. You're still able to do that. It's like, how Allah gave you this body, and it's able to adapt to things, right? So
Right.
it's just a blessing. Even you running, you get the time free to think about all the blessings, everything you get. It just during Ramadan is different, right? You running by yourself in the open air and think about all these blessings, right? You can listen to Quran at the same time, or just the nature, like, oh my God, look at these beautiful trees or things like that. So you see the countless of blessings that Allah gave, and for me, that's a lot right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah. Those who are listening, I hope you get out those information. Very well said, brother. Very well said. Ramadan, it's something that teaches us so much stuff,
yeah,
and maintaining that with the relationship with God. It's very important, and doing what you love to do. That's fantastic. Going back to your running club that you said you started 9 years back, want
yeah,
to talk about that a little bit? Like,
yeah. So running club, it's called the Atlanta Muslim Running Club.
yeah,
We started 2015, right after that, after running the Peachy Road Race while fasting.
right,
Channel 11, local Channel 11 in Atlanta, made a story about this, and the people in our Muslim community, they're like, oh, brother, you should do something about running. And I'm like, I'm like, that's when I thought, you know what, I should maybe try to get our community into some physical activity, and running was my passion. So I'm like, okay, let's get them to run. Me and another brother, Amar Omar, he was a runner as well.
okay.
We got together and we started Atlanta Muslim Running Club, and we meet every Sunday, just walk or run or jog. It's family oriented. So we have parents, we have kids, we have grandparents come in.
Mashallah, I've seen some posts from you, and it's
Yeah,
fantastic. That's
it's
something
fantastic.
I mean, fantastic. And is it like
Yeah.
everybody is the same neighborhood, or everybody comes to a
They
location?
come. We try to every Sunday we try to go different parks. So we have a couple of parks that we go often, but
Okay,
usually it's around the Atlanta area. And like I say, it's you have small kids in strollers all the way to 70-some-year-olds. We have
Mashallah, it's fantastic.
uh, like one of our members. He's actually the oldest member. He's about 78 or 79,
Mm.
and brother Rashid, and he runs almost every day. And he does 10Ks, he runs half marathons,
By
mashallah,
himself, by
by
himself.
himself. Yes. So he joins
Mashallah.
us, and we also go hiking once in a while, you
Right.
know.
So,
And
how many numbers you started with, and now how many numbers members you have? Do you guys have a certain number
yeah,
like that?
so obviously when we started, our group runs were anywhere between 10 to 20 people
Okay.
when we first started. And then, winter came, it kind of dropped down, and then spring comes, then up
Picks up
again.
again. Picks up
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
But I would say last 3-4 years, we have
Mm.
consistently anywhere between 15 to 40 some people every week.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah.
That's very good.
The only thing we did is we added social aspect of it. So we
Hmm.
started going to coffee shop
That's
afterwards.
fantastic. That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a
So
great.
so it's not just running,
No,
walking and stuff. We
no.
also have a social right after. So
That's
people come, especially newcomers who've been
yeah.
to like first timers in Atlanta, they want to try to make new friends in the
Right.
Atlanta community.
Yes.
So we talk and so forth. And we've been ever since we added this part, like we have consistently at least 15 people, 20 people come every day. I mean, every
Fantastic. Yeah,
weekend.
we have something like that similar, but it's hard to get. Since I'm in New Jersey, I have runners in New York. So we try
Yeah,
to do an annual event like a picnic every year, get
yeah,
together as much as we can. And going forward, that's our plan to do either monthly run we can do in Central Park. But that's a fantastic. I hope people can take away from this and come up with their own group running for the weekends when the weather, wherever they are, right?
yeah,
And that's a very good way to get socialized and get interact with each other. I mean, as a community, and we need that. We definitely
yeah.
need that
And
community
then
support. Yes.
we have like a lot of Muslim sisters, they wear hijab and stuff, so they feel more comfortable in the Muslim settings, right?
Got you.
So we accommodate anybody who comes, and they feel more comfortable, and that's why we kind of started with the Atlanta Muslim Running Club, right? And I've seen as years goes by, there's actually other Muslim running clubs that started after
Hmm.
seeing us, right?
Okay.
There's also Detroit Muslim Running Club. There's New York City Muslim Running Club.
Oh, there's
Uh,
okay.
yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
Dallas Muslim Running Club. There's San Francisco. There's Muslim clubs all over. But I would say we're like the
Number
first one
one.
who
First
started.
one to start it. There you
Yeah,
go. You
yeah.
guys.
There is another Muslim running club that started before us in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't aware until later on. It was called the Muslimas Indoor. So there's
Mm-hmm.
a sister. Her name is Noura Goodson. She started
Okay.
to motivate Muslim women to get into running and swimming and all that stuff.
MashaAllah, we have to
Mashallah.
take
Yeah,
that initiative. And we
yeah.
do have our Muslim in ICPC, Islamic Center of Passaic County. New Jersey is the largest after Dearborn, Michigan. New
Mhm.
Jersey is the largest community for Muslim, and we have our ICPC. They started annual 5K every summer, and I'm part of that as well.
Oh,
So far
mashallah,
we
that's
had
good.
third year, we did that. Inshallah, it's a fantastic. Community is growing, and that's
Yeah,
what we want. And running should be part of that to get to that our journey for a healthy
yeah,
lifestyle. Brother, we're almost at the end. So
yeah,
our last question for you would be, what is your future plans and what is your, I mean, you share your uh, running group. Is there
yeah,
any plan for you with your running, your future goals? And if you have any question for me, I usually
yeah.
end up with that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my personal goal always been to get the 6 stars, Abbott's, yeah, Abbott's, what do you call, Abbott's Marathon Majors,
World
right?
Marathon Majors,
Yeah,
fantastic. I know you,
yeah.
that's what, how many you have done so far?
I did 3, and I know you
MashaAllah.
did like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, so people who doesn't know about World Marathon, just for the audience, I'm sharing them. It's six major in world marathons. New York City is one. The second is Chicago. Third is Boston. Fourth is London. Fifth is Berlin, and sixth is Tokyo. And recently Sydney was added. So seven. So that's a whole
So,
different category. They're gonna add two more. So first six is known as a Abbott Wall 6-star major. After you finish all six, you get a special star medal. That was my dream to personally finish that.
it's still your dream.
It's still my dream, brother, but I don't know how it's gonna happen. But I'm happy that the reason I started this journey actually when I first saw 2017 my first marathon and I went to that wall and I did not find Bangladesh. I was like, where is Bangladesh? I see all the names, and that's like, you know what? Let me start the journey. I want to see that Bangladesh one day, and that's kind of started my journey.
Yeah.
And Alhamdulillah, now two brothers I see from Bangladesh have their name
Oh,
already.
really? Oh,
Inshallah,
okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
bring one of the guests. Actually, he's coming on my show
Mashallah.
soon. First finisher of one of our brother. He was with me in Tokyo too. Yeah, I finished brother 5. I finished 5. I have Boston left, but
Oh,
Boston is,
mashallah.
it's very hard challenge with that. I'm not a fast runner and I cannot raise that kind of money. So
Yeah.
the third option, which I did not selected. So we'll keep trying. Dream is
Yeah.
out there, but I'm happy. I'm as the whole point is to live a healthy life and to inspire others to live a healthy life.
Yes.
So that's our bigger goal, inshallah.
Yes.
And if it happens, it happens. But thank you for sharing
Inshallah,
that. I
like you,
wish you,
I
yeah.
mean, things like this will make it happen, right? Like having a podcast talking about it, so other people know about it, right?
No, no,
Like,
exactly. That's the whole
yeah,
point. We want other people to know, other people to show the dream, like dream. As you know, I don't know if I told you that I'm a personal trainer and a running coach, and
yeah.
I started my own business recently, and it's gonna be launching from Bangladesh. So 2025 is my launch year for that, and my goal is to bring people together, show them that they can dream, and if they believe in themselves, they can achieve. So my tag is dream, believe, achieve.
Oh, okay.
So, and we can make it happen with the right
Yeah.
guidance. So I'm here for you guys. If you have any question, anything you need, I'll do my best to support you. Any question, feel free to email me, rahmanfitwellness@gmail.com. And thank you, brother Kazi, for sharing your wonderful story about running. I hope our audiences are benefited from your talk, and I wish you all the best for your future goals with your running and your life. Keep us in your prayer. Stay well, and we'll be in touch, and we'll definitely welcome you again. We'll do more of this, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. And thank you for inviting me. I mean, may Allah bless you and continue to give you good health and the beautiful smile you have.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And don't forget to visit us when you next time come to New York or New Jersey. My
Yes,
door
yes,
is always
definitely.
open for you, brother. Just call me, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum. Take care,
alaikum.
brother.
Walaikum salam.